Howdy delegates, my name is Ali Zaidi and I'm the Chief of Crisis Committees here at Central Texas Model United Nations. I want to welcome you and congratulate you on taking part in our unique and trademark global simulation experience that we've really pioneered here at CTMUN over the past few years. Now, if you've taken part in CTMUN, this digital global simulation certainly looks a little bit different than it does in person, but we've worked really hard to retain some of its core functions. Now, just to get started, as you may remember from your background guide, there are several committees that exist in this world, the 70s all at once. And just as a refresher, that those are the U.S. Senate, the USSR, the Global Press Corps, in addition to Kabul and Crisis, as well as the Awami League of Bangladesh, as in addition to its joint, which is the cabinet of Yahya Khan. Now, just like any crisis committee, you will be spending the majority of your time, near 85%, dealing with the questions that your own committee has. That means that the majority of your communiques, your directives, your actual debate should be limited to your actual committee. Don't always be trying to interact with every other committee. Get done, as any real nation would, the majority of your internal problems. But what is unique about the global simulation is that we really want to immerse you into the real world, which is while you're dealing with your own problems in your own committee and country, there are in the background and in the periphery several things going on the world stage, which is where the global simulation comes in. That what happens in the U.S. Senate will be known and may have a possible ripple effect in the USSR or in the Awami League, and vice versa. And there's a couple main ways which you can interact with other committees. The first is we have our Global Press Corps Committee, which will be going around and reporting on the global news that happens in each of the committees. You also have the ability to hold press conferences where the press corps can come in and ask you questions. They'll be producing news stories anywhere from every hour to every committee session that all the committees will be able to read, and you can gauge public reaction as well as the global community's reaction to what you're doing within your committees. In addition to that, you have the ability, if you wish to choose to do so, secretly communicate in between committees. Now, don't get too carried away with it, because just like in the real world, you may be exposed for whatever notes you may send. So, be careful as you decide to choose notes to other committees and decide to work with delegates across committees. And that will all be done through your crisis staff by sending them Discord notes. In addition to that, you can call for a global summit, which is where a committee can send an invitation to another committee or committees in order to meet together to discuss a joint matter. How this would actually work out is, for example, the United States can call for a global summit, and they would pass a committee vote of 50% plus one to call one, and would invite, for example, let's say the USSR and the Kabul Committee. The Kabul Committee and USSR Committee would then both have to vote to agree to take part in the global summit. Once they've all decided to take part in the global summit, each respective committee will elect 2 delegates to go on behalf of the committee to this joint summit. And so, for example, the United States Senate would send 2, the USSR would send 2, and Kabul would send 2 for a collective group of 6 to take part in this global summit. In addition to that, you can send official communiques in between committees. So the U.S. Senate may decide to send an official communique, a letter, to the USSR on a particular subject matter. In addition to this, you can also send out, as usual in any crisis committee, a press release, which other committees will be able to see as well. Lastly, you have the ability to call for a UN Security Council meeting. In a UN Security Council meeting, if all nations agree by a vote of 50% plus one, if all nations vote to take part, then each committee will elect 1 delegate to represent the committee at a UN Security Council meeting where they can discuss as an entire 70s world of what to do with matters of great import. Again, these are things that you should use sparingly and for really, really important questions. And to reiterate, for the UN Security Council meeting and for the Global Summit, all parties that are invited must agree by a vote of their committee in order to take part. With that said, we hope you really enjoy the global simulation. We think it's a really unique way, an immersive experience for our crisis delegates, and they've loved it each year, and we hope that you will too. If you have any questions about how the global simulation works, do not feel free to ask your crisis staff, and they will get a question back to you. But to end with, once again, you will be spending the majority of your time working on your own respective committee. With that said, I really hope you enjoy your time here, your 3 days here with us at CTMUN, and I'll be going around sporadically through the committees to ask for any feedback you may have so that we can continue to improve our experience here at CTMUN, the best conference in the South. So with that, hook 'em horns and good luck.